Am I audible? While telling this story, I'm giving you a heads up. I might get emotional and I might start choking. It happens every time. Priya has seen it multiple times, so I'm apologizing up front. So this is 4 years back. I was working at Urban Ladder, and one of my friends told me that he knew a puppy who was a community puppy and who stayed below his building, whom someone had hit with a rod. This puppy was 5 months old, and my friend, being the sweetheart he is, he put this puppy into a shelter. And the way the shelters work, they're always trying to help other dogs, and they're always full, they're always understaffed, and they took care of this puppy for about a month, and then they said that we'll have to put her back on the streets or have someone adopt her. All this while, I have not met this puppy. I was in no mood, I was in no place to adopt or foster, even for that matter. I was staying alone. I just moved to the city, and we tried searching for foster options for this puppy for about a month, but failed. So Sushant, my friend, he asked me if I could foster till they found a permanent home. Now that is the first time I met Juno, and I remember it was in Cartman in Kormangla. It was late in the evening. We were late because of the traffic, and I did not want to wait another day. So I prepared the house a day prior, got her bed, got her treats, hadn't met her yet. And I remember running in the rain because the shelter was going to close. And I went there, and the moment I reached the shelter, I see Juno there. She is sitting in a small cell in her own pee. She's a tiny baby. She was 5 months old, and I picked her up, and she immediately peed on me. And at that moment in my head, it registered as if that she's marked me as a human. And that was the exact moment when I knew that I cannot just foster her.
Papa, don't tell no story. She's saying, don't say about that.
And I got her home. She was full of ticks. It took us a lot of time to just remove the ticks, to address her wounds, just patch her up, and she slept very quietly that day. Now I think I overfed her the second day. There was this puppy who kept coming and asking for food, and with those big eyes, she would just come and whine. And your heart melts away. And I had no idea what to do. So the doctor later told me that I fed her thrice the amount that I should have fed her. And she had loose motions for the next 2 days. And those are the ways that I learned to be a dad. The first time I felt like a dad was when I put her in a diaper for the first time on my own. And just accomplishing that was a huge feat for me. I was very... I was very unaware of how to raise a child, how to raise any child with special needs, for that matter. And it took me some time to get to understand, to realize, and to be able to give my best to her. More than that, I think for her to heal emotionally and physically after the abuse took some time. I think she healed emotionally quite faster than she would heal physically.
Yeah.
But she's now a complete diva. But back then she was a complete angel. She would never trouble me at all. Like, the only times I know it would break my heart, because I would get up in the morning, while I was tying my shoelace, she would come between my legs and she would start pawing me. And that was the time when every single time she did that, it became even more difficult. My office at that point, my bosses and everyone were very cool. They were very kind. They would allow me to go back home to her early. I would go meet her during lunch times. Because of her condition, what has happened is that she's incontinent. She does not know when she has to go pee and poop, which is why for the last 4 years I've lost a lot of hair just changing her diapers. but when I look at her face, when I look at her eyes, it's all worth it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been what I am today if it wasn't for her.
That is so true. That is so true.